Rise and shine on Australia's Vision Christian Radio.
A lot happening on the show today, Phil.
Oh, it was very busy. We had a whole nother show planned, actually, and then we got some news through first thing this morning, just as we were getting into the studio, that Dr. James Dobson had passed away overnight.
Yeah, so we included a lot of that in the show, and it was really nice just to hear different reflections and different people's thoughts and how the ministry of James Dobson has impacted them. And some of these callers, Phil, were impacted like 30 years ago.
Yeah, and it's just been wonderful to be able to reflect on a life so impactful. And I think that's the piece, isn't it? When you think Dr. Dobson now, at some point he was a young man and God had laid something small on his heart. I'm sure it always starts small, doesn't it? And then as a result of he's done these steps and this step, and then he's a book, and then there's let's start a ministry, and then let's expand that ministry. And today, as he goes on to glory, we're able to reflect on the impact that he's had on homes around Australia, and hearing from people who have been in their homes in difficult situations, like a lady who had her husband was having an affair, and another where they're in with their kids, and the impact that it's had on raising their children. Like, it's such practical pieces that he's had an impact on because he followed the call that God had for his life.
Yeah, totally.
So that's all on today's show.
As well as celebrating the Feed the Hungry Day yesterday. Heaps of good stuff on the podcast today. Enjoy it.
Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily podcast. Please subscribe to the show, rate it on your favourite podcast platform, and share the link on your socials. It all helps get the word out.
Yes, good morning. It's back to normal here on Rise and Shine. Well, whatever normal is.
Yeah, what is normal on a Friday morning, Phil?
Well, it's Friday is what's normal on a Friday for me.
Did your daughter say Friday today?
You know what? She didn't. But she was so tired. She looked after me last night because I was pretty tired. So I was asleep by 7:30.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I dream about those nights, Phil. I've never had one, but I dream about it.
Well, I got to the point where I was so tired that actually Millie put me to bed. Murray and Bella had to go out to a concert. I was going to go, but I just couldn't. I was so tired. So Millie looked after me, got me a heat pack, put me to bed.
Go, Millie.
Yeah, so I did say to her this morning, thank you, Millie. You're welcome, Mummy, anytime. So I did the Friday this morning. Yay for family who will step up and look after each other.
Well, you inspired me, Phil, with your story of little Millie talking to you at, what was it, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning?
4, yep.
Saying happy. So the other day I went into my daughter at 4 a.m.
How'd that go?
Well, she's more like a log. I just said, okay, bub, have a good day.
Oh,
and she's
nice.
That was much like, no happy Fridays or terrific Tuesday or wacky Wednesday. It was like,
oh, but she would have appreciated it, subconsciously there.
I don't know.
Probably in her dream, she was imagining her daddy giving her a lovely hug. I love that.
Well, I did put I've started putting snacks in her bag as I leave for work in the morning, just to make sure she doesn't forget her snacks.
So what are the snacks that are of choice?
We've got these healthy nuts of what she's found with dark chocolate on the outside. Yeah, a little bit of a sweetie on the outside. Sultanas.
Yes.
Also those little sesame biscuity things you get from Aldi, and
I've seen
a banana and a mandarin. So I give her options.
Have you thought about giving me a snack pack? Could
if you want a snack pack, I can arrange that.
It's a very good snack pack. Well done. Yeah. It's Father's Day coming up in a couple of weeks.
It is.
It is. So
Daddy Day.
Oh, it's very exciting. So you're doing all the right things to get a wonderful Father's Day.
Well, I don't think about that sort of stuff. But Phil, hey, what a day yesterday.
Wasn't it? Look, I tell you what, we need to listen to music. We'll come back. Yesterday was Takeaway Hunger Day. If you weren't listening, don't worry. We'll bring you up to date. We were after a goal, an audacious goal of feeding 40,000 children.
Well, it started at 35,000.
Well, it did. During the day, it went
kept
up.
growing.
I don't know how that happened.
But it started yesterday. This time yesterday.
I thought, am I going crazy? Because I'm sure in the morning, Andy and I were saying 35,000.
That was the goal.
And then I was looking at the tally board and it said our goal was 40,000. And I thought, at what point of the day do they go, nope, too easy? Put that one up.
I think by about 10 o'clock in the morning.
After we'd finished.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, by the end of the day when I was looking, it was 40,000 children in Uganda to be fed just by our Vision family.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you now if we made it. How about we listen to a couple of songs? We'll come back on the other side.
Keep the suspense going.
And we'll give you an update on Takeaway Hunger Day. Did we make it? You'll find out after Matthew Parker and Xander Sallo's Ebb and Flow. Good morning. You're on Rise and Shine.
Rise and Shine on Vision Christian Radio.
Yesterday, wasn't it wonderful, Andy? We were having Takeaway Hunger Day. So we're partnering with Feed the Hungry to feed children in Uganda who are escaping from incredible situations.
Yeah.
And it's $6 will feed a child for an entire month.
It's amazing, isn't it?
With these wonderful packs they call Manna Packs. We
Yep.
got to eat one in the studio. If you want to
did.
have a look, go over to the socials and you'll see it cooking up here in the studio.
Well, you'll see Phil cooking it up.
I did cook
because
it up.
she drew the short straw. I had to commentate.
Yes.
And she had to cook it in the
It was
rice
tough.
cooker.
Putting rice into the cooker and filling it with water.
Oh, and stirring it.
It was, yes. Well, somehow, and behind the scenes, there were a lot of people coming in and wanting to stir it. They weren't even trusting me with that. Like,
Yeah, well, I don't know if they weren't trusting you. They just want to be involved, Phil.
maybe
It
do you
was
think
a
that's
team
what
effort.
it was? There was a lot of, particularly men, coming in and stirring this pot and then walking back out again. Anyway,
Collaboration.
it was delicious.
But it was to help young kids in Uganda who literally are in a horrible situation. And every one of those kids has a story, don't they, Phil? And we heard some of the stories, so we might listen to one of the stories again. Hey, just revisit a little bit.
This is Isaac, who touched our hearts.
I'm by the name Isaac Dictor, and I'm 16 years old. I want to be a doctor. I would like to help people save their lives.
If you consider a child like Isaac often be 2 days without eating anything, and I think about what are the chances of him achieving his dreams when he's struggling just to find a meal.
I feel like dying because a human being cannot stay without eating. That is impossible. So if you bring the food that you are bringing to us, so we shall stay alive.
Feed the Hungry has always started with a very simple idea that there are children that are hungry and have no one to help them. We want to see them established enough so that they can build their own futures. That's why we provide our meals in a school environment. We all understand that education is the key to escaping the poverty cycle. But for these children who don't have meals, how can you possibly concentrate? So that's a very key part of all of our feeding programs. It seems so simple, $6 to provide a meal for a child in a school for a whole month, but it really unlocks so much more.
Feed the Hungry is important to us at school because they are giving us food that we need. Thank you for everyone who's contributing to Feed the Hungry.
Oh, and that is the voice of Isaac, and also Ben Evans, who's the CEO of Feed the Hungry Australia. We're going to be chatting with him about an hour from now.
We are, yeah.
To get a national update.
But how did we go, Phil?
Okay,
Our
here we go.
goal was 35,000 when we started the shift yesterday.
Yes.
That goal was then revisited and up to 40,000. So how many kids did Vision listeners across Australia and potentially overseas as well, how many kids did we end up supporting and sponsoring?
The final tally so far, and it can continue today, so if you missed it, you could still jump in, is 40,909 children.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's 40,909 of those children for a whole month we'll be feeding because our Vision family jumped on board. And there's some beautiful stories like Sabita in New South Wales who gave $30 to feed 5 of those children and says this is from her 8 and 6-year-old sons who would like to donate from their piggy banks money to feed the kids of Uganda as an act of kindness.
So
Sabata,
good.
thank you, and thank you to your beautiful sons. Everyone jumping in together means we have met the goal. But if you missed it, Andy, it's not too late.
No.
I've gone over to the Vision website. The big banner's still there.
The big orange banner?
Still there?
Yep.
You can go to vision.org.au and you can click on the Donate Now button in the banner, and that takes you through and you can still get involved to feed the children in Uganda.
And just thank you to everyone that gave yesterday, that got involved in this, because it was your generosity, it was the fact that your heart was moved that this happened. And, you read out one there. There's another one here, Ebony from WA. She gave $60 to support 10 children. Phil, she said, what a difference my small amount will have in the lives of precious children. Bless you, Feed the Hungry, for the amazing work you do, and bless Vision Christian Radio for your Christ-led radio. And I think that sums it up, Phil. Just thank you to everyone that got involved yesterday. Together, Phil, we've made a huge difference.
We so have. And thank you, everyone. We are so appreciative. You can still jump on board if you missed it. Not too late. Vision.org.au to get involved with Takeaway Hunger Day the day after. It's Boxing Day. You can still get involved. Coming up next, though, we have got some news that's coming out of the US, and we want to touch on that next. If you love Focus on the Family, you'll want to hear this. It's coming up after this next moment on Rise and Shine.
Brought to you by the generosity of Vision family members across Australia and around the world. The Rise and Shine podcast.
And we've had some news come out from the US this morning that beloved James Dobson. He's the child psychologist and evangelical leader who founded Focus on the Family, which we love here at Vision, has gone on to heaven at the age of 89.
Yeah, this is big news, Phil. He's been on Christian radio in Australia, not just on Vision, but all Christian radio stations for quite some time. He's had a huge impact on people's lives. If you don't know Dr. James Dobson's voice, let's just revisit one of his many messages that aired on radio and TV and radio across the world and also here in Australia.
And she tells him to go to the bathroom and wash his hands because dinner's hot, and he stays gone 9 minutes and he comes back and his hands are still dirty. You been there? You know what I'm talking about? This happens in nearly every house, nearly every night. There is this kind of struggle that goes on, and mother is getting more and more hot about it and is doing a lot more yelling and warning, and there's a great deal of irritation between the two of them. Finally, folks, it comes to that fateful moment called bedtime. Loaded with emotion, and she tells Johnny to go get in the tub, and Johnny is not accustomed to doing anything that he doesn't want to do. And he's sitting on the floor, and she says, "Young man, now listen to me. You got school tomorrow, and I want you to get the stuff picked up and go get in the tub."
And that's just one of the
So
many
practical.
messages, Phil, on family, on parenting. And, you know, for a Christian voice to be so strong on family values, it just helped so many people over the years, didn't it?
Oh, it really has. He founded Focus on the Family in 1977. So just imagine how many years he's been impacting the nation. He's also had a huge impact on US politics. He's been an advisor and campaigner for at least 4 US presidents. What a life, what an impact. And on the line, we have got Brett Ryan, who heads up Focus on the Family Australia, and we wanted to touch base with you. Brett, are you there?
I am.
Oh, Brett, what a day. What an incredible legacy Dr. Dobson has left.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate to be part of that legacy. And for me personally, we brought up our children on the resources that Dr. James Dobson wrote, the books, and listened to the podcasts. And so he's been a significant part of my life.
Yeah.
And now to work for an organisation that I have the utmost respect for, it's quite surreal.
Yeah, it must be. Was there any indication that this was going to happen? Like, were you guys given a heads up, he's not doing well, or was this quite a sudden
thing?
thing?
He's been well for the last week and a half. He's been in hospital with pneumonia, and it seemed to stabilise, but he is actually, we haven't had a blow-by-blow, but we anticipated that this could be his last few days here on Earth, and his assignment is now officially finished, and now he gets to be in heaven.
Wow. And for Brett, for yourself hearing the news this morning, what does that mean for you and reflecting back on the life? What are some of the things that you'll take away as being those wonderful memories that he's left you with?
Well, just the idea that one person can make a real difference. And we can see the enormity. I mean, he's started it in 1977, and Focus on the Family is aired in about 98 countries across the world. There's 13 associate officers, and I'm part of that. And I am overwhelmed to think that the number of marriages that have been saved, or the number of parents that are in crisis have been resourced, and the number of children that have been saved in utero because of his pro-life stance, it's extraordinary. And I'm only a small part of that cog, but I'm so proud to be able to be part of it. And also to think I never got a chance to meet him face to face, but I feel like I have, because his influence has lasted, is going to last a lifetime in my life, and the legacy that I've put on to my children and then to my children's children. So it's really quite significant.
It is. And just for our listeners who maybe don't know, how old did he get to be, Brett, before he passed
89
away?
years of age.
89. That's a good age, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, when growing up and reading his books, I always thought he was old, like he was already old. and so,
Well, he was.
And I know that sounds a bit negative in derogatory. I don't mean to say that.
No.
But he has jam-packed a lot in his life. And that actually he started another ministry after he left Focus on the family called Family Talk, and then he's got the James Dobson Family Institute. So his legacy is going to continue, whether he's here in person. It's going to continue, and so it's one of those things that it's a loss for the world because of his evangelical stance. He brought hundreds and thousands of people to Christ, as well as I said, saving hundreds and millions of families have been impacted because of his input into people and writing books. And many Australians listening to this right now will recall the movie series that was played in churches all over Australia. And that has a significant impact. And people remember probably James Dobson more than Brett Ryan and Jim Daly.
Come on. Impossible, Brett. Impossible.
We just so appreciate you jumping in to have a chat. We might catch up with you further on during the week as well, during the day. But look, we're talking about James Dobson, child psychologist, evangelical leader and founder of Focus on the Family, who has passed on to heaven at the age of 89. And we would love to hear your thoughts this morning as you're reflecting upon this wonderful ministry and what it's meant to your family. If you have any reflections or memories of things perhaps that have stuck with you.
Moments of impact, Phil, maybe.
What a beautiful way of putting it.
How are you impacted by the ministry of James Dobson or Focus on the Family?
Give us a call this morning and let's share them together as a family. 1-800 316 316. And thank you, Brett, so much for being with us this morning so early.
You're more than welcome. God bless.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Vision's breakfast show is now available around the clock and on demand? Incredible! The Rise and Shine podcast. Rise and Shine.
Are you ready for a challenge? Listen to the mystery sound, correctly name the Bible story, and win a great prize. Sounds easy, but is it? Rise and Shine's Bible Stories Sound Off.
That's right. And look, we had to get a brand new sound a couple of days ago. I was away on Wednesday.
It played out.
Did it?
But we didn't play yesterday, Phil, so that's all we have to play.
Let me have a look. What is the new sound?
You want to have a listen?
Did you go back in the time machine safely?
Yep. Des Kennedy and I, your Irish friend, we flew back, captured a sound, came back to the present, and this is the sound, Phil.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is very good.
Very good.
It's better than expected even. Okay, let's listen to that again.
Okay, just process this one.
Oh, I'm very impressed.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Well, if you're listening at home and you don't know what that is a sound that's been pulled from a Bible story. Mm-hmm. Your job is to match the sound to the story. Uh-huh. It sounds easy.
Sounds easy, Phil.
But it's not.
Sometimes it's more difficult than it seems. When you make the call, you think you know the answer.
And you know what? Because the last sound went in 2 days, sometimes that makes the machine or the person perhaps make it a little bit harder.
Try
Is that
a bit
true?
harder,
Do you think?
yes.
Yeah, you try
Make it a little bit more difficult. Yeah.
Okay, let's have one more sound.
Okay.
There you go. It could be really, there's a lot of Bible stories that could be. 1-800 316 316. If you think you know, we would love you to give us a buzz and tell us what Bible story that sound matches up to.
The Rise and Shine podcast.
I'm a big fan of that sound. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm fun. Thank you. Well done. 1-800 316 316 is the number to call. If you think you know what Bible story that could be from, I can see I've got Colin here. You got an idea, Colin?
You have to be nice to me today, Phil.
I'm so sorry if I haven't been.
No, when you remember Shiloh, you were so nice to her, and then I rang the next day and you couldn't wait to hit the buzzer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
You were away, Andy.
I sense some issues here, but anyway, we can work through them.
Actually, we're talking Focus on the Family today. We might get some help from them. Okay, but I will be on my very best behaviour. And actually, thankfully, Andy's pressing the buttons today.
Yeah,
so
I'm in charge today. I'm very soft on the buzzer. Very soft.
What do you think?
I think it could be the sounds when Moses was in the little basket on the water when he came into the breeze.
Oh, yes.
That's a nice thought, isn't it?
That is a beautiful thought, Colin. I'm not even just trying to be nice. That is just legitimately.
She is trying that, I can tell. But
Yeah.
Colin, I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. I'm here to support you, Colin, on this journey.
Okay then, Andy. Is that the right answer?
Well, you know what? I want to start by saying it's a very good answer.
Yes.
It's evoking a wonderful image in my mind right now. Little baby Moses cruising down
Well, he was
the
sitting
River
in the
Nile
reeds.
in the reeds in his little
When
basket.
he's in the weeds, you know,
He was in there?
the sound of the insects and the water lapping against it.
Yeah, it's almost like he was surfing. I see him as a kind of a
Do
cool
you?
young baby just surfing down that
Has he
river
got
Nile.
slick back hair in your picture and some
Having the time-
glasses on?
Yeah, sunnies, having the time of
Not,
his life.
not running for his life or anything like
Sipping
that.
back on a
Because
mocktail.
he cried though, didn't he?
Yeah, he cried because
That's
he
how
wanted-
he was found out.
Well, he knew how to push the button of the woman, let's be honest. He knew she'd feel sorry for him.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
anyway, are we ready, Colin? Mate, is it the right answer? Well, you know what? It's an awesome answer, Colin. That's what I'm going to say. It's an
Just
awesome answer.
wow.
On this occasion, Colin, it's not the right answer.
But we would love you to try again.
but it was a great answer.
No worries. He didn't have his whale blubber oil on that.
Well, that was, if he had, the story would be even better. Yeah.
And then she'd be like, what is this slippery baby doing here? And why does it smell so gross?
He might have kept going all the way to Athens, mate. He could have taken over Greece instead of Egypt. That would be a different story.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Colin.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, there you go. The sound lives another day.
Well, everyone's a winner, aren't they, Phil?
Every-
I feel like Colin did win today.
He did win. And look, I feel like that's some fake news there. I don't
Fake news.
think I've ever been mean to
Do
anybody.
tell, Phil. Do tell.
Like, we try our best. I hate saying it's the wrong answer, but, sometimes you're wrong, aren't you, really?
Sometimes we are wrong, Phil. There is right and wrong in this world. There is sin and righteousness. There's darkness and light.
Sometimes
All that
you win,
stuff.
sometimes you lose, and it's got to be called out. So
It's called out. Look, even Rocky lost in Rocky 1.
But then there's a comeback.
There's always a
So if
comeback.
you can have the knockdown, then you get the comeback.
There's always a
So
Danny
it's more-
Goki song in the background,
there
isn't there? Here
the
comes your comeback.
Here comes your comeback.
We're caffeinated and ready to face the day. This is Rise and Shine on Vision.
We're celebrating the life of James Dobson, who is the child psychologist, evangelical leader, and probably best known to us as the founder of Focus on the Family. He's passed on to heaven at the age of 89.
Yes. A good ending, Phil, to a very productive, fruitful life.
Yeah, it
He
is.
finished strong.
Yeah, and look, this is a little takeaway from one of his messages.
And she tells him to go to the bathroom and wash his hands because dinner's hot, and he stays gone 9 minutes, and he comes back and his hands are still dirty. You been there? You know what I'm talking about? This happens in nearly every house, nearly every night. There is this kind of struggle that goes on, and Mother is getting more and more hot about it and is doing a lot more yelling and warning, and there's a great deal of irritation between the two of them. Finally...
Yeah, I mean, that's just an example, Phil, of his teaching. It was so family-focused and so practical and helpful, wasn't it?
That's
for
right.
Mums, dads, families in general.
Well, Gary Bauer, who's the Senior Vice President of Public Policy for the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute, has said in a statement, his bold leadership, integrity and compassion has helped equip countless families to thrive in a world of shifting values. He was a mentor, a counsellor and a steady voice of truth in turbulent times. I mean, what a beautiful thing to have said about your life. We have put a call out there this morning. Have you got some moments of impact from Focus on the Family that perhaps have helped you during some turbulent times this morning?
Yeah.
And we've got Bernie on the line. Bernie, have you got a moment of impact for us?
I listened to the advice, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and I had some beautiful family members and friends to support me, but no one spoke the word and with the Bible and as well as Dr. James Dobson, I felt I could make it.
Yeah.
I could make it through each day because some days were,
Yes.
I didn't know if I could.
Yeah.
And, I mean, people who've been through a separation and marriage breakdown would understand that. There are days, I mean, we all have our trials, don't we? I'm not saying mine was any worse than anyone else's, but the beauty of his program that I could access at any Christian radio, and I didn't even know there was a Christian radio in the very beginning. It was amazing, Phil, because God led me to that. Like the Bible and James Dobson, that got me through anything. And I was
Well, hang on. Isn't that just, let's stop there. The Bible and James Dobson got me through anything.
Yeah.
What a great legacy and a great testimony of the impact of this ministry.
And that he was there in your home, like, because I'm just imagining, Bernie, and you can imagine, I'm in this space with you. You're alone with your kid. Like, it's tough being a parent. And then he's so real with the way he was. It was real life, real ideas. I wonder, Bernie, is there anything that you can remember that he said that touched or that you'd share with someone else today?
Well, I don't remember the words because it's so long ago. I'm pretty old now, but
You just remember the
what
feeling.
I do remember, Phil and Andy, thank you, is how he lifted me up. It didn't matter. He had a way. Even his voice was just like so soothing. You know?
It was.
Oh, Bernie, thank you. We so appreciate you calling and reflecting on that moment of truth with us.
Yeah.
And thank you for honouring a life and the impact it's had. We so appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for letting me share.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Bernie.
And have you had a moment of impact as well? Has James Dobson or Focus on the Family really helped you on your journey? We'd love to hear from you. Part of our reflection on his passing is we'd love to hear the impact and the legacy that he's actually leaving behind now in our lives.
Yeah, perhaps there's a piece of advice that you heard that you've applied. It's very practical. You could hear earlier on when we were talking, played a little piece. It's about, kids and how you discipline them or how you get them to do what you want them, look as a family. Perhaps there's been a piece of advice.
Well, that made me feel better, that little clip, Phil.
Did it?
Yeah.
Just that tiny bit.
Hearing about that mum getting a bit ticked off at the son. Yeah, I can relate to
Well,
that.
I think that's the thing. That's what Bernie's saying. It's very real. It was those moments right in the home that often you don't have time to preach about in church all the time.
yeah.
But he was able to go there. So we would love your reflections of those moments of impact this morning. 1-800-316 316. Or you can send us through a text as well.
You can.
0447 488
316.
We're coming up to the news not long from now on Rise and Shine. And then we'll be digging into the book of James together. We haven't made it out of James 1 yet because there's just been so much there. So find your Bible, dig it out, and we'll be there soon on Rise and Shine.
It's the daily podcast of your favourite Aussie breakfast show, Rise and Shine.
Yesterday was a massive day, wasn't it,
It
Phil?
was Takeaway Hunger Day, and we will be chatting with the CEO of Feed the Hungry with a national update. Just in case you missed it, though, as a Vision family yesterday, we were able to feed 40,934 children in Uganda. Everyone
So good.
putting together. And if you'd like to still get involved, you can do that by heading to vision.org.au. The big orange banner for Feed the Hungry and Takeaway Hunger Day is still sitting there. But I do want to say a big good morning if you're listening along in Balranald, New South Wales. And this is located on the Sturt Highway where it crosses the Murrumbidgee River. So it's a remote semi-desert area, but there is the river there as well. And the weather today is about 7.8 degrees, heading to 19 degrees. So it actually sounds like a beautiful day. And you're listening along on 88 FM.
I've got to ask, Phil, what does it feel like? It's all about the feelings
It is,
to me.
isn't it? Well, look, it's right now it's 7.8 and it feels like 6.9. So it's within a point. So it's pretty close. It would only be the most avid weather observer that would be able to feel the difference, I think.
Well, on Wednesday during your absence, we had a day, I think we did the Melbourne weather, and it was 3 degrees. But guess what, Phil? It felt like 6 degrees.
It felt more.
It felt
doesn't
warmer.
happen often.
It doesn't happen often.
often.
That was a big event on Rise
Was
and
that
Shine.
exciting,
Des and
was it?
I was very excited.
Were
I thought,
you?
wow.
Does Des did he share it? Because he doesn't live it with us as much. So maybe for him he'd be surprised.
He
by
may
that.
not have been as excited as I was, but I was excited because it was a sunny day in Melbourne. It was 3 degrees in the morning, but it felt like 6 degrees.
There you go. It's exciting. Well, if you didn't know, on Wednesday, Des Kennedy filled in for me. I was Bella's 18th birthday, and so I was mothering, which is possibly also why I'm so tired today.
Possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, so
That's very exciting.
So that was the reason Phil was away. But yeah, it was big, Phil. You know, it felt like
I'm
6.
so
It was
glad
only
that-
3.
To think that a year ago, Andy, you probably weren't as excited about the weather,
Well, not the feelings behind
and
it.
now
no.
we've captured this and we're bottling this excitement. It's wonderful.
This could be a descent into something that's not good, Phil. We're all about feelings now. But anyway, I want to quickly read out a Bible verse. I'm in Psalm chapter 4, Phil, and this is verse 5. But know this, that the Lord has set apart for himself him who is godly. The Lord will hear when I call to him. Now, David's talking about himself there, and that's an encouragement to me, Phil, that David did have a really cool relationship with God.
Yeah.
but it gave him confidence. He knew that him and God had this thing going on, this
Yes.
relationship, that when he called on the Lord was there for him. And that really sustained David throughout his life. And guess what, people? You and I can have a relationship with God just like that as well. An intimate place, a personal space where we just encounter God in our personal lives. And I know about you, Phil, for me, that gives me a whole lot of confidence as well.
And part of knowing God is having a daily habit of talking with God, but also reading His Word.
Yeah.
That in my life has been the biggest impact, which is why as a Rise and Shine family, every morning about this time we open up the Bible together.
Good segue, Phil.
It's almost like I do this for a living.
It's all about the segue.
But we are next going to jump into the book of James together, because as you feed your spirit, you get to know God, and then as a result, you have more boldness in what God asks you to
Let's
do.
take a leap of faith today, Phil, into the book of James. What do you think?
I reckon we do
You
that.
found the podcast of Vision's breakfast show, Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine.
One of the things that is exciting is, as a family, getting to read the Bible together. It's pretty special, actually.
Very cool, isn't it?
It is actually. You just think everywhere in the country, and perhaps what we might get to do is get you at some point to take a photo of where you are as you're doing the Bible study.
That's a good idea.
And we could put it all on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then we could share together as a family what we're doing when we read James, how you're reading it.
And if you're not comfortable with that, just
That'd be
black
pretty
your
cool.
face out and send a
Sure.
photo of yourself reading. And that way you're anonymous, but we can still see you doing it.
I would love that. That actually would just be really special. So maybe we will do that next week. I'll get a post together and put up on Rise and Shine on the socials. But today, though, we are in James. It's written by a guy called James.
Oh, funny that.
But, you've got to start at the beginning. It's a letter that James is writing. Now, he was one of the leaders of the church in Jerusalem. He had been one of the disciples with Jesus. So he'd been with Jesus. Jesus has died. He's gone to heaven.
Yep.
He sent them out into all the world.
Yep.
And as they go out, James is actually back at home base, really.
Yep.
And they would write letters because there was no Facebook, no instant messenger, no links.
Yep.
So these letters, some of them have made it into the Bible.
Yeah.
And that's what we have as now a reference point for what our faith is built on.
Yeah, and you'd summarize this book as saying it's a very practical book with lots of practical wisdom. And, I really like that because James was different to Paul and
Yes.
Paul was different to Peter. And it's okay to be different. If you're a Christian, we don't all have to be the same. We don't have to be
That's
this
good.
cookie-cut version of what a Christian looks like. And I think sometimes, Phil, we watch pastors preach and we hear them, we kind of think, I've got to be like that. Well, not necessarily. You just got to be yourself.
That's good.
And walk with God according to His Word, through prayer, through worship, through fellowship, and just be the person God's made you. And James was that person, and he was unashamedly very practical, wasn't he, Phil? So this chapter 1 has got so much good stuff in it. We struggled to do it in one day, didn't we, Phil?
Or 2, actually, as it turns out. Maybe 3 we can get through chapter 1. But we have been looking here. James has written, he's talked about asking for wisdom. Brilliant. He's talked about don't be a waverer when you ask, but actually be firm in what you're believing for. If you get to verse 12, it says here, God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation, because afterwards they will receive the crown of life that God has promised. Now, I think this is really good because you
And
could
that's a
stop
great
there.
verse, Phil. I mean, we need to swim in that for a little bit, I think. Seriously.
Swim in the verse. I
Read
like
the end
that.
of it again. The end of it's really nice.
Because the afterwards bit,
Well, no, have you endure the testing?
patiently endure testing and temptation. Afterwards, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him.
How good's that?
It is good, and I love this piece because it's often, if you finish there, you'll be like, oh, maybe God is testing me.
Oh.
But James helps us with that. And he says, and remember when you're being tempted, do not say, God is tempting me.
Yeah.
Isn't it cool that he answers the question? God is never tempted to do wrong, and He never tempts anyone else, which is actually almost like a head tilt moment for me. Because sometimes you think, oh, God's just trying to test me. But it says here very clearly, temptation, He never tempts anyone else. Temptation comes from our own desires, which entice us and drag us away. These desires give birth to sinful actions, and when sin is allowed to grow, it gives birth to death.
There you go.
And I've often thought that, like when you look at, and I look at people in my word and myself as well, and you've ended up in a situation and you're like, oh, I can't blame God for this. Like this is literally, I knew not to do something,
Sure.
but I started something small. And often that's what happens is there's a tiny temptation. Oh, I'll just do this, or I'll just say that, or I'll just lean this way. And then suddenly it's a slippery slope and you can find yourself a long distance from where you meant to be at the beginning. And when you do, you can call out to God. It wasn't God's idea. And I'm in a situation then that God didn't want me to be in, a bit like Jonah,
Yeah.
He wasn't meant to be in that whale. There was a better way.
There was.
But he made a choice to go with his own desire rather than God's best.
And gee, I'd like to explore that more in your life, Phil, but I want to hear more.
Actually, Andy's like, let's just stop. Exactly what
Let's
is
hear more
this?
about Phil's slippery slope. No, but you're right, Phil. And, I look at it this way, Phil. Life has challenges.
Yeah.
And an example, mountains are challenges.
Totally.
It's not even a spiritual thing. If you want to cross a mountain, you got to climb that bad boy. Or if you want to swim the English Channel, Phil, you got to whale blubber up. You got to get ready, And so life just has its challenges. Sometimes it's not even God or the devil. It's just sometimes life is hard. But the encouragement there is to persevere.
Well, and God says there's a crown of life.
Yeah.
He actually wants to bless you on the other side of that.
He does.
And as you stick close to him, we've been talking about relationship
Yeah.
in the Word, that's going to get you through.
But as I was saying, Phil, life sometimes has challenges and you've just got to keep going. That's what I was going to
100%.
say. You've just got to keep going. And I think as Christians sometimes we need to remember that you've just got to persevere. Sometimes we want things now. We live in the now generation, the instant gratification. But sometimes you just got to hang in there a little bit, keep going, and you will get to the other side. Now, my takeaway, Phil, before we round up today, this is my favourite part of chapter 1, and that is in verse 22. But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself.
Yeah.
So if anyone hears the word and isn't a doer, he's like a man looking in the mirror and you actually forget what you look like. And this is I think the truth of Christianity, Phil, that it's all good and well to know the Bible and to hear the Bible. And, when I was a new Christian, no one ever talked about their theology. I hear a lot of people today saying, what's your theology? I want to know your theology, and my theology is this. And it's like, it doesn't really matter. The question is, are you doing it? And theology is the knowledge of God. Theo is God. Logos is knowledge. So theology should be, okay, how do you know God? Okay, well, I know God by praying. I know God by worshiping, by reading the Bible, by fellowshipping. And I walk with God every day. There's my theology, Phil. I walk with God every day. So I love James, very practical. He gets our head away from maybe being in the clouds a little bit to come back down to earth here. Let's work. Let's get the job done. But let's walk in faith. Let's not deny our spirituality. But let's also be practical people as well. That's my takeaway, Phil, from the book of James.
It's very good. And that is a great verse, isn't it?
I love it.
And it's one of those things as well. People are like, do I have to be perfect to get saved? Well, this verse helps a little bit because as you know something, that's when God convicts you to actually follow that.
To do it.
The doing comes after the knowing. And so sometimes we're like, you don't have to be perfect to get to Christianity. But as you're reading through the word, things come to light and you're like, oh, actually, that's God's best for me.
Yeah.
Now, what's my responsibility? Well, James would say to go and do what you know to do.
To get off the slippery slope, Phil, and back on the
Very,
road.
very good. It's very good stuff. I think, look, there's actually way more. Even in James 1, there's other pieces there as well about not being someone who's quick to anger, all sorts of.
Yeah.
Read James 1, my
I think we
suggestion.
better.
I think
That's our
everyone,
homework.
let's go and read James 1. We'll be
Yeah.
in James 2 next week.
We
but
better.
I think everyone should read James 1. That's our takeaway from this.
Always encouraging and always fun. Rise and shine on Vision.
And Andy, we're reflecting on a life well lived and a huge legacy left behind.
Yeah, he had a huge impact in Australia, Phil, on many Christian radio stations, not just ours, not to mention his teaching series, which would have been on cassettes in the old days and then CDs and now online. But let's just have a little listen to James. If you don't know his voice, this is the sort of stuff he talks about, just family stuff, practical stuff.
You don't need to anger. You do not need anger to control children. That teacher who said I have to stay mad all the time to control my class, you see, was using anger to control. It doesn't work. Action is what controls.
So practical.
Yeah.
I think that's what really touched parents. And we heard from Bernie before. It was the practicality in your lounge room where you're like, I need this to actually right now. We've asked this morning, have you got a moment of impact that you've had through Focus on the Family advice or perhaps from James Dobson himself? And on the line, we've got Brett Ryan, who heads up Focus on the Family in Australia. And Brett, it's wonderful to chat to you because, well, you're so involved with Focus on the Family, but I know you've been impacted as well by the teachings of James over the years.
Absolutely. I think I've read nearly every one of his books, listened to many of his podcasts, and I mentioned my wife she just woke up just herself, and I said Dr. James Dobson has passed away, and she said, oh, it's really sad, and she said, I remember that time when we were dealing with one of those situations with our children, and she was just calling out to God, what do I do? What do I do? And then, sure enough, on the radio came a little snippet about being a helicopter parent, and it's not good for you to do that. And that's what she felt like doing. coming to rescuing her child. But she says, you're not going to allow God to do what he needs to do. And that short little 1 minute little bit of advice gave her the information that she needed, the courage and the confidence to deal with the situation. And as a result, the end result was amazing. And if we had intervened, or if Kate had intervened, it would have gone very, very differently. And it's just those little things that personally has benefited our family immeasurably.
Isn't that amazing? Because you never met Dr. James, did you, Brett? And yet your family were deeply impacted by his life and by his teaching.
Oh, very much so. He finished in 2010 and I started in 2013. And although I've read a book that was written by his personal assistant called Gedzooks, and when I read that book, this is before I started at Focus, I said, I want to be like him. I just want to be like him. I had a heart for families. I had a heart for relationships. Lo and behold, now I have the privilege of working for a ministry that he started, and that legacy continues. And whether my legacy is not going to be anything compared to what Dr. James did, but if I could help somebody be at the right time, listening on the radio at that time, I've been part of that legacy, and it's something I hold dearly. And I think really we are indebted. Hundreds and millions of marriages have been impacted because of James Dobson, and families have been restored because of his advice through the resources. I mean, many people remember Dare to Discipline. Now, some of the things may not be relevant now, but that was a book that I read. It talked about the strong-willed child. Many people recall that. That was revolutionary for people. And how he answered questions in a really God-honoring way is extraordinary.
I think my parents read both of those books quite a lot, actually. I think perhaps the strong-willed child was needed in my case.
Oh, really?
I do think so. I remember Mum mentioning it, actually.
We could explore that, but we won't.
But I do remember. And you think, though, Brett, I mean, the encouragement for us all today is that everyone has a different calling and something to work out in their lives. But for James, obviously, there had become a moment in his life where God had said to him, hey, step out. And it probably looked audacious and big and challenging at the time. But God said, hey, there's something for you to do. And then it became a voice to the nations. And that's inspiring to us all, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, very much so. One person can really make a difference, but he actually got others involved using their expertise, the drive and passion. But he really put the importance of family on the radar. He put the importance of marriage on people's radar and not settling for second best, and to put Christ in the center and actually allow other things to fall into place. And that is something that is just a beautiful imagery of, a man dedicated and committed to the family, to know that it was the bedrock of society. And if we get the family right, society goes right. But he's also been a prophet in the space that he says, if we didn't get this right and things go awry, it's going to impact the families. And things that he said were going to take place have taken place because we went away from God's ideal model of God first, husband and wife, children, and then if we do that well and do it intentionally, our society will do so much better.
Yeah, so well put, Brett.
Love the Rise and Shine podcast? Tell a friend today.
It's joyful here because Takeaway Hunger Day was yesterday. It was bright orange here in the studio. We've gone back to normal here. But what is exciting is to look at our tally board and see our big audacious goal for feeding children in Africa. And Andy, it's pretty amazing. $6 feeds a child in Uganda for an entire month.
Yeah. And we set a goal at the beginning of the day, Phil, to help 35,000 kids in Uganda. We had to revisit that goal a few hours later, and we made our goal 40,000, and that's 40,000 human beings. So who better to talk about this than Ben Evans? He is the CEO of Feed the Hungry Australia. He's a very busy man, but he joins us now on the line. Ben, welcome to Rise and Shine.
I'm trying to rise. I'm trying to shine. I had a very luxurious 5 o'clock wake up by my body, so here I am, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Well, you're looking good on the video screen. But Ben, what a day yesterday! Just the response of the people of God, and some of them probably weren't even God's people, who were just moved by the need in Uganda. You must be overjoyed with the response.
So incredibly grateful. It's a day that we prepare for almost all year, and we're hoping and praying that idea, will the people respond? Do they share my compassion and desire to feed hungry children? It seems like a good idea, but is it really just me, or do other people share it? And that's really heartwarming to know that I'm not alone, that other people have that same heart, that children are hungry, and I've got to do something about it. So thank you to everyone at Vision who yesterday responded to the call. They've answered the call so incredibly generously. I mean, even just the idea that you set one of the largest goals, because there were many stations apart from Vision across the nation, and Vision had set the highest goal. And partway through the day, you went, our goal's not high enough. We need to increase it from 35,000 to 40,000. That was just incredibly special news to me during the day, to know that you weren't satisfied. There are more children to be fed. And I think about Luke 6:38, pressed down, shaken together, running out all over. That's really what I saw through the fantastic friends at Vision all across the nation. So a big thank you for even just setting that goal and going for it.
And it is exciting because the goal was 40,000 of these beautiful lives to be impacted. Well, actually, as a Vision family, I'm looking at the telly board right now. We're sitting at 41,000 of these children who will be fed. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It is huge, Ben. And then, as you were mentioning, it is a nationwide, all the Christian radio stations across the nation pulling together on the day. How did we land as a nation when we were coming together for Takeaway Hunger Day?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, last year, this is our third year, but last year in 24, we set a goal to feed 120,000. And I thought, that's too easy this year. We need to increase it. So our goal this year was 140,000. Goals aren't so important to God, but they really help us to focus what we're doing. And so trying to work out what the right number was this year. And 140,000 children seemed to sit right with me. So that's what we went through. And 145,000 children have been fed across the nation through everybody's efforts. So thank you so much to Vision and really Christian community radio across the nation. I just love it when the body of Christ comes together for a singular purpose. So a big thank you. On behalf of Isaac and Mies and Rodina, so many thousands of children are going to be fed in Jesus' name because of your generosity.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned a few of the kids' names, and, I want to listen to another one of these stories because there's so many of these stories of these kids, but to all of our Vision family who've now helped to support 41,000 of these kids in Africa by feeding them for just $6 a day, let's just listen to a snippet from one of these many kids whose lives are going to be helped by what we've all done.
My name is Ivan. I'm 14 years old, and I came from South Sudan. How I came to Uganda, it was because of the civil war. We are not even living a happy life because they treat us in a bad way. So when we came to Uganda, we started living a happy life. I live with my two brothers who are in secondary school and my younger sister. But for the people who are helping us in school, I would like to say thanks to them. They have really helped us a lot for us to eat at school. And I would like to say thanks to those who are helping us for them to get more and more to prosper.
Oh, and those are the stories that touched our hearts so much, Ben. Thank you for leading Feed the Hungry in Australia. We just are so honoured that you have allowed us to work with you on this and partner to be able. And we're hearing today even from people in our Vision family who are saying, thank you so much that we've been able to work together to be able to bring hope on a plate to these beautiful children. So thank you, Ben.
It's a pleasure. I may be the face or even the voice of Feed the Hungry Australia today and this week, but there is a team here, hardworking, and I know that there is a team at Vision and across the nation who are working hard to present this opportunity of change that we can make. And so I'm so grateful for everyone who grasped it, took it. That is a door of opportunity that we have walked through. And I'm so grateful for children like Ivan who are being fed in Jesus' name.
Thank you so much.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Ben. And look, if you haven't had a chance to jump in yet, maybe yesterday you were busy.
Yeah.
You could have been asleep.
It's not too late.
It's not too late.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone that did give, though. It's not just the people working here at Vision, is it, Phil? It's the Vision family all across Australia. It's people like you listening right now that stepped up and have just decided to bless these kids, and it's made a massive difference.
It has. And if you would like to jump in and be part of our family, supporting these kids at $6 a child will feed them for a month. You can go to vision.org.au. There's still a big banner. It's bright orange. You can't miss it. Click donate, and all of those funds will go to help kids in Uganda have hope on a plate. Ben, thank you for joining us on Rise and Shine.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I'm just thinking about that overflow. It is just as much fun to be a part of the overflow. We've met our goal, but if you haven't had a chance to give, get in on it, because there is so much joy in feeding hungry children.
Amen.
Again, thank you so much.
Amen, amen. Well, coming up next, we're also celebrating the wonderful advice from Focus on the Family and James Dobson. If you have some, give us a call, and we have got some people waiting by to tell their stories next on Rise and Shine.
Just the right mix of things to inspire and things to make you smile. Rise and Shine on Vision.
You have a moment of impact in your life from Focus on the Family or from Dr. Dobson, and I've got Robin on the line. Do you have a moment of impact in mind?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. Many years ago, my husband was having an affair. We were both Christians, and I was quite desperate in this phase of time. And so I got hold of his book called Love Must Be Tough. James Dobson's book, sorry.
Yes.
And I read that, and he gave advice that the sooner you do something positive about this, the better.
Mm-hmm.
But I had delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. And then eventually I decided, well, this was the moment. And he said that you need to separate. You need to do something that shocks that other person into the reality of the situation. And so that's what I did. And I made it clear to my husband that I was going to wait, and he needed to make up his mind what he wanted to do, and that I would just wait, and he should go and get some counselling, and we would look at this again in a year or two. And that is exactly what we did. And my husband realised what a serious mistake this was, not just for him, but for the other person involved as well. And that was a signal for change. And at the end of, I don't know, nearly 2 years, I think it was, we retook our marriage vows.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
And God gave us the years that the locusts had eaten, as the Bible says.
Oh, praise God.
You know, isn't this amazing? I just want to pause there, because we've been talking about his impact on radio and his public speaking, but here we have an example of one of the books that he wrote has had such a profound impact on your life, your husband's life, and your family's life. How many years ago did you take those vows again?
It was in about 91, I think, 1991.
Oh.
And here we are today, hey, and you've still got this testimony that stood the test of time.
I have. My husband's died since. He's gone to be with the Lord. But we certainly, I counted up the years that we had later.
Yes.
After that event. And yes, God had more than restored the years.
Wow. Praise
God. God himself did something amazing in that time, because he sent something in the mail where I am saying to God, look, I don't know. I can't work this out with what unconditional love is. You know, and I had myself in a bind. And God sent something in the mail that had an extraordinary story, but I won't go into that. But just to say, this article that he sent, which wasn't to me, it was to my father who died years ago, and it just said, tough situations never last, tough people do.
Yeah, wow.
And I went, okay, I'd been saying to God, look, it'd be really lovely if you'd just write me a letter or something. And I promise you, if you wrote me a letter, I would do it. And that is what happened.
Amazing. Robin.
Extraordinary.
Amazing.
How good is God? And it just shows you the power of we have James Dobson, and he's writing as God's put it on his heart and there's people who would have sent, a lot like we do with Vision. There's the senders of those messages.
Yeah.
And then they're able to get into the hands of people like Robin in that moment of need, Robin, and that advice, that word in season, that word at the right moment, literally then changes the trajectory of your life, because it tells you a word from God, but through the hands of people. That's how God operates. Robin, thank you so much for calling and encouraging us this morning, and a great reminder of the power of doing what God puts on your heart to do.
Thanks for your radio program.
Thank you, Robin.
God bless you, Robin.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a brekkie show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
This is the best day. Well, it's an exciting day of the week. I'm always a bit more excited.
If Saturday is a good day for you, i.e. a day off, then yes, it is an exciting day.
I guess it depends. That's true. If you're on a rotating roster and this is not like the day before your weekend, it could be different.
Or if you've got a big wedding on tomorrow, maybe, Phil, which I do. Saturday's not exactly a day of rest, but it's all good.
There you go. Well, it's very exciting. Everyone, as you jump into your Friday, I wanted to tell you some big news. There is a new Vision radio station in Warwick, Queensland, which is in the Southern Downs region. If you're in Warwick or you know someone in Warwick, let them know. If they now turn their little dial to 88 FM, they can have Vision is on the air. Warwick is a beautiful part of the world. My sister-in-law, her parents live in Warwick. So I'm familiar. Yeah, beautiful.
So you've been there a few times?
It's a bit chilly. I probably got the right, and probably hot at the other time of the year, but maybe it's just when I've gone through. But there's about 15,000 beautiful people who call Warwick home.
Yep.
That's just the good-looking ones, I think, that they've counted during the census.
Well, it does get cold, Phil. I've driven through Warwick, and you know your car thermometer rarely goes below zero in Australia.
No, true, yeah.
As I was going through Warwick, Phil, the car thermometer said -2.
Did it?
It was so cold.
And for Queens, that's a Queensland town there. Okay, today it would be fine, 9.1.
Oh,
but
feels like
8.8. Just pretty close, actually.
Pretty
there, isn't it? Not bad. It's going to get to 20 during the day, though. There's some fog there this morning, but don't worry, Warwick people, Warwickampians. What would you call them? Warwickans? It's going to get better during the day. It'll be sunny.
That's above my pay grade.
Oh, there you go.
People from Warwick.
Sure, let's go with that. But it's going to be a beautiful, and we're so thankful that you're part of the Vision family. Welcome aboard.
Yes, very good. And I've got a Bible verse too, Phil, as I always do. I'm still in Psalm 4. I really like this one. Because it's quoted in Ephesians as well. It says, be angry and do not sin, which is quite an interesting thought. And then it says, meditate within your heart on your bed and be still. Isn't that nice?
It is, because I've often, when you pray and you meditate on your heart, in your heart on your bed, I do often fall asleep. I'm just going to be honest. But that's quite nice. Like, that's peaceful.
Oh, it's good you're falling asleep thinking about the Lord, though.
It is that. Well, not if it's like 11 a.m. But no, yes, that's right.
But let's go deeper. The Bible refers to your bed a lot and to your sleep a lot. And it just shows you can actually, time in bed can be time with God. You can think about God while you're in bed. The Bible even says you can shout and clap and rejoice in your bed. So, yeah, make your bed a place where you encounter God.
How good is that? And the Bible promises you good sleep. You can. That's a promise from God. And then what a wonderful thing. Rather than looking at your phone before you go to bed, wouldn't it be better if we put a verse of the Bible in our heads?
That's a good thought, Phil.
There you go. It's the wrong end of the day, but maybe tonight as you're going to bed and you're about to go on Insta or Facebook or whatever you do, maybe just think, hey, Phil suggested. Yes, I did. Maybe pull out a Bible and just put one verse in your head and see how that goes tonight as you're going to sleep.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
Are you?
Because I just got convicted. Because I sometimes just quickly check the socials before I go to bed too. So tonight I'm going to read a verse, Phil.
Okay. Well, we'll check in with you on Monday. See how it went.
Follow up on me.
Follow up. Well, look, Katie Nicole's going to take us out now. The timely song, When I Fall. There you go. Who's going to catch you? Well, she'll tell you all about that during the song. On the other side, we've got Pete. Now, you might not have met Pete. We're going to introduce him to him. He's part of our Rise and Shine team. So getting to know Pete next on Rise and Shine.
Subscribe and listen to the Rise and Shine podcast in the free Vision app. It's easy and available everywhere.
Katie Nicole, When I Fall. It's Rise and Shine. Fallon Andy with you this morning.
Hasn't she got a nice voice, Well, it's almost therapeutic, that voice.
It is. It's relaxing. I mean, we were just talking about what to do before bed, you could put on that song and a scripture in your head.
Or maybe Katie could branch out and do a sort of get to bed or go into bed with Katie and just read out soothing scriptures to you, sing little songs to you, little lullabies.
That's nice.
I might send a letter to a management.
There you go.
An idea for them.
Ideas from the head of Andy. We need like some chimes. But right now, we're very excited because coming into the studio, we've got a new member, or fairly new, to our Rise and Shine team.
He's an audio and production dude, Phil.
We're going to call him.
That's his job description.
We just said, what's your job title? And we were like, no, this is your job title, audio and production dude. And we're going to do a little activity we like to know as getting to know you, Andy.
Getting to know you. Getting to know.
Sort of like that, Phil?
That's it. I always think everything should have a musical flavour to it. And so we've got Pete here. How you doing, Pete?
To hope you like.
Oh,
hang on a
we'll
sec,
just
Pete.
turn
Sorry,
on
mate.
your...
Mary Poppins was interrupting you then. Or was that Sound of Music, Phil? It was Sound of Music,
No, it's
wasn't
from
it?
The King and I.
Oh, The King and I.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
I got it wrong
musical,
twice.
whatever.
Yeah.
Pete, how you doing? I don't know if we've got your mic on. Our own audio
Audio
production.
engineer. There you go. There you
We need
go.
an audio and video production duty. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Oh, wonderful. We are so excited to have you part
so
of our
excited.
team.
Thank you.
For those who listen to our Tasmanian podcast on the Friday, Pete did our intro for us because we were rushing off to do interviews and things. So we thought we've introduced you a little bit if you're listening to the podcast, but for the rest of everybody, Pete, it's so great having you part of our team.
I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much. It's been such a blessing being part of the Vision team, the Vision family. Working behind the scenes, it's fun getting to see everything that's going on. So, and now I'm on this side, and it's even more exciting. So I'm excited.
So how long's it been now, Pete, since you came to Vision?
5 months, coming up to 5 months. Halfway through March. Yeah,
Goes quick, doesn't it?
Goes quick, man. It feels so long ago.
And can I ask, what's your biggest sort of impression so far made on your life through working at Vision? What's the biggest, I guess, impact Vision or working at Vision's had on you?
Oh, Andy, it's amazing what God does through Vision. The impact that this radio station has, the impact that our media has on people. A few years ago, I prayed back because I have a heart for ministry. God's put a heart for ministry in my life. And I said, God, I want to work for ministry.
Yeah.
I don't know what that capacity is going to look like.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to shape out to be. And then 5 months ago, God was like, hey, this is your ministry work that you get to do. And it's been incredible. Just the reach that we have, the impact of people, all the stories that we hear from our listeners and our Vision family. It's incredible.
Oh, it's so good. And we're so excited to have you here helping us. So thank you. One of the things it's good to get to know you, and I think I'm unusual, but I always think it's good to ask, is there a theme song for your life? Like Andy, we know you've got a bit of a theme song.
Yeah, a bit of Top Gun.
Bit of Top Gun. I would normally go with The Sound of Music. These are a few of my favourite things. So Pete, do you have something that we could use as a Pete theme song?
I do have a theme song. Would you like me to share it?
Oh, yeah. No, tell us.
Or should we play it or do you want to share it?
I reckon let's play it.
Okay. I'll play
guess
it and then you can talk about it.
Do you know this one, Andy?
Let me listen. No.
It's a musical.
It's a musical, okay.
It involves a carpet.
Okay.
That might fly.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little golden lamp.
Oh,
And
actually,
you rub it?
okay. I think can I answer it now?
Yeah, go on.
Aladdin.
It's funny that you clicked the yes before you gave the answer.
Yeah, I know.
We don't normally do it that way.
Preemptive correct answer.
I was very confident. Very confident.
That is awesome.
Why Aladdin? Why is this the theme song for Pete?
Well, when I was thinking about what would be my theme song, I was listening to musicals in the car. And I was like, oh man, I'm a guy that loves musicals.
Awesome.
Really?
I call myself a theater kid.
Ah.
And it's actually how I met my fiance, which is awesome.
Oh,
wow.
But yeah, and I was like, one of my favorite songs is Friend Like Me from Aladdin, because it's one of my favorite Disney movies and Disney musicals.
Yes.
And also at the same time, it made me think, I'm sort of like a genie. I don't grant wishes, but that line in the word where, that line in the song, what's it say? Something about whatever you need, and things like that. But I grew up having many different hobbies and many different interests.
Yeah.
That when people are like, oh, I sort of want to do something like this, I want to do something like that. And I'm like, oh, I've done that before. I can do that for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's awesome. It's just, I'm kind of like a bag of tricks or a jack of all trades. I
You're,
like to describe
you're an
myself.
interesting guy. That's what I describe you as. I didn't know you're into musicals. Is your family ancestry Filipino? You look a bit Filipino.
Yes, yeah, we are.
Okay,
Filipino,
question.
yeah.
Manny Pacquiao. What do you
Yes.
think of Manny Pacquiao?
Love him.
Oh.
Love him.
I don't know what that
Hero.
is.
Manny
What are we talking
Pacquiao is one of the greatest boxers of all time. He's a
Greatest
Filipino.
of all time.
He was brought up by a single mum, and they were so poor. I've seen him live. I met him in Brisbane. His mum was so poor. She was a single mum that his little brother would be so hungry at night. He'd say, Mummy, can I have some more food? And Mum would have no food. And she'd say, drink water. Drink water.
Aw.
So sad. And Manny, from that background, taught himself to box, got a trainer, got a coach, became one of the greatest boxers of all times. He now builds homes in the Philippines with his boxing money for poor people. He's an amazing human. He's one of my heroes.
He
You
is.
like Manny? Give me a high five. Give me a high five. I love Manny.
And I believe he's also Christian.
He's become a Christian.
He's become a Christian, which is incredible.
Yep.
Wow, but Pete, I'm thinking about your life as well
Yeah.
and the impact that you're having. You're also you help and praise and worship at your church.
Yes, yeah. I recently got back on team for worship at. I go to Emerge Church up north in North Brisbane.
Yeah.
And it's been incredible. I love worship, and I actually got an incredible testimony about worship.
Yeah.
And how that started in my life and where that sort of God placed that on my heart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I play the guitar and I sing.
Oh.
And yeah, it's
Well, we
A
might have to
singing
use some of that
musician.
as
I
well.
like it. Now, you met your fiance in a theatre company. Is
Yes,
she
yeah.
singing? Is she dancing? What's her thing?
She does sing, she does dance, she does act as well. She's what we call a triple threat.
Oh, yes.
Right now she's
Ooh.
studying a
Triple threat.
Bachelor of
That's
Fine
it.
Arts in drama. So she's
Oh, wow.
actually studying that field.
That's a quadruple threat.
Quadruple threat. Yeah.
So when you have the wedding, have you thought about just having a musical theme and like dancing down the aisle,
Look,
singing the vows?
we genuinely thought about it.
Yes.
We genuinely like, how can we make this theatric or something?
Yeah, totally.
But no, yeah.
Andy, can you do a wedding singing?
Yeah,
we
look,
could
I'm
help
a
you. We could
celebrant.
do
I
that.
mean, probably his pastor's going to marry
But we
him.
could do that though,
look,
couldn't we,
if-
Andy?
we could do that. We
We could sing
absolutely.
through
We could do that.
100%. Wouldn't that be a great wedding?
It would be. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It would be memorable.
If you can sing, maybe, but I know for me, I don't know if my voice is quite that good, Phil, to warrant
I'm
a
sure
wedding
it is.
appearance as a wedding singer. I don't know.
Surely we get Andy singing a musical for us.
I think
I'd love
so.
to
I
hear that.
think
Well, I'm a
should
good
be
wedding
good.
talker. I've spoken at a lot of weddings, my friend, but not sung. But anyway, I'm up for the challenge. You know what? If you could bring Lady Gaga, if she got saved
Wow.
and redeemed and delivered,
Wow.
and you brought Lady Gaga to
What?
a wedding, I would do the duet with the old
What?
that from that
Oh,
movie they
Andy.
sang
Shallow?
together. In the Shallow. I love that song. Do you like that song?
I do like that song.
In the shallow,
Oh,
the
my goodness.
shallow, in the shallow. I really like that
Pete,
song. And
pull
with
that out
Lady,
very
I
quickly.
think she'd bring out the best in me. I think my voice would rise for that occasion. Yeah. Tell
Surround
me
yourself with talented
something,
people.
girl. Do you know the words?
Not off by heart, no.
Is this?
But I am a karaoke man, so
Oh, there you go.
There is
a lot of
so much.
Filipinos
There's a lot of depth to this guy, Phil.
This
We can
onion.
talk to this guy all
It's
day.
like you're an onion, Peter. And as we're getting through the layers, there's more and more coming. Well, we are so excited to have you part of our Rise and Shine crew. Thank you for being our audio and production dude. We love having you here, Pete. We'll have to obviously get you back. There's a lot more to tell.
He's a top bloke, Phil.
He's a top.
thanks,
Are you
guys.
going to give him a ding
he's
for a top
using
bloke?
the Aussie vernacular, he's a top bloke. You're a top bloke, Pete. And you
Thanks,
like
guys.
Manny Pacquiao.
I do,
You're
yeah.
singing, you're playing music. You're my type of guy.
thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Andy, I love you so much, bro.
Yeah.
Been awesome.
You're like the warrior poet, you know? A bit of creative in there, a little bit of warrior in there as well. I like it. I like it.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Pete, we'll have you back again. But
Thank
thank
you
you
guys
for
so
all the
much.
work you're doing behind the scenes. Great having you part of our Vision family.
Thank you guys so much. It's a blessing.
Brought to you by the generosity of Vision family members across Australia and around the world. The Rise and Shine podcast.
That is City Reach music, Whiter Than Snow. It's
I love that pause at the end of
Did
the song,
you?
don't you, Phil?
Well-
He sort of stops and then he restarts. I like it. I like it.
no, haven't enough.
One more thing to say here.
You are on Rise and Shine.
Good song.
It is, Phil and Andy. And look, we are reflecting today on the life of Dr. James Dobson, who has graduated to heaven at the age of 89. For those who may not be aware, he was a child psychologist, evangelical leader, and he founded the Focus on the Family movement. So I remember my mum and dad reading his books growing up. And we were talking to Brett Ryan from Focus on the Family Australia earlier. He mentioned The Strong-Willed Child. My parents definitely had that book and definitely mentioned it.
Let me guess,
regular
that was your
basis.
sister or your
I'm
brother?
sure it was my brother's.
It was one of those two?
I'm sure it was from my brother, but I do remember it being mentioned a bit.
Okay.
But I have got a text here this morning. We've put it out there. Have you had some moments of impact from Dr. James, one of his resources, or perhaps through Focus on the Family? And this is from Wendy. She says, good morning. When my first daughter was about 2 years old, I was struggling with her behaviour. I read The Strong-Willed Child by James Dobson. This gave good advice, encouraging me to guide her without breaking her spirit. I feel like there have been many cassette tapes by him as well. Such a great resource for new mums. Now, my beautiful daughter, she's 51.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Still love Focus on the Family as a grandma. So, Wendy, thank you for sharing that reflection with us this morning.
And
big
what
impact.
an impact, Val.
It is a big impact.
Just from reading a book, sometimes we forget the impact that books can have on people.
Yeah, that's right. We're so in this technology age now, but the ability for someone, so you just imagine Dr. Dobson, he's written a book so many, probably years and years before, and yet someone has sent that book out and it's been able to be in the right place at the right time for Wendy. And now 51 years later, her daughter is up and growing and having her own kidlets.
Yeah.
And that's because, and it's been so positive as a result. So we have put it out there. What have those moments of impact been like in your life? And I've got Rich on the line. Rich, do you have a number one piece of parenting advice that you remember?
Keep your eyes on Jesus.
I think that's why we need Christians in the space of giving parenting advice, isn't it? Because you hear also, there's so many books written on parenting, but that's the number one piece of advice. And we get that through Focus on the Family and all of these great Christian commentators. Keeping your eye on Jesus, it's the only way, isn't it, Rich?
It is. I heard some wonderful preaching, and a analogy was given that with society expecting the government and schools to raise our children is like the government providing an ambulance at the bottom of a cliff to take the children to hospital, whereas parents, we need to be building a fence at the top of the cliff to stop the children falling over in the first place.
Very good.
Gee, that's good,
That's
isn't
a
it?
good analogy, isn't it?
That's good.
The idea of the fence at the top of the cliff built by the parents to keep them from falling off the edges. It's because that's what we're doing as parents, isn't it? Putting those boundary lines, those markers in place to say, these are the safe places for you to play. And we kind of expand them as the kids get bigger, don't we? Keep them pretty tight and then expanding them at age appropriately. Rich, that's great advice.
Yes, and thank you so much for yesterday, the takeaway hunger. That really blessed me and brought me to tears. And it's lovely to be involved in that, knowing that on the other side of the world we're helping impact and in children's lives. And Jesus said, I will build my church and the gates of Hades shall not prevail.
Yeah, amen.
Hallelujah.
Can I ask you more specifically, Rich, have you ever been impacted by the Focus on the Family ministry or Dr. James Dobson over the years, hearing him on radio or through teaching?
Yes, I have. I really respect that ministry and often get a lot out of Focus on the Family. Yes.
Yeah, Rich, thank you so much for calling and having a chat this morning, and and to let us know as well that you enjoyed Takeaway Hunger Day, because we're the same. We're in tears here for half the morning. So yeah, thank you for being part of it with us.
Yeah. All right, and I've done my wife and I have done a monthly donation.
Oh, amazing!
So, continue on it, and yeah,
praise God.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
all right, God bless you. Love the radio station. It's unifying the church because we're, and someone from Townsville, Perth, Melbourne, Toowoomba, we're all listening to Vision Radio, and it just, I think it's a wonderful thing.
It is. Thank you so much, Rich, for your reflection this morning. It is pretty special, isn't it, Andy? Like, you think Takeaway Hunger Day was yesterday.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're across the whole country and we're all working together, it's a beautiful family moment.
It is. And look, we don't want to boast. We'll boast in the Lord and for touching so many people's hearts. But, I mean, overall, 140,000 kids are going to be helped now. Well, more than 40,000 of those are just from Vision listeners, Phil.
Yeah, that's right.
Do the math on that. I can't, but I know that's like
it's almost
up
30%.
There you go. Almost 30%, yeah.
I think I did do the maths earlier. But the Vision family really have it's like a big group hug. and that's Takeaway Hunger Day. If you missed it and you want to still jump on board, and it's $6 to feed a child in Uganda through the Feed the Hungry program. And you can, we were saying yesterday, it's not if you can, but how many kids could you support? There's still time if you go to vision.org.au. Click on the big orange banner. You can't miss it, and you can still get involved.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Vision's breakfast show is now available around the clock and on demand? Incredible! The Rise and Shine podcast. Rise and Shine.
Beat the toaster.
And this is a great game. In fact, Andy's want to say probably the greatest Christian game show, apart from perhaps other ones that we play.
One of the greatest Christian game shows on radio in Australia. Potentially the world fell, and here we are.
Here we are.
Basking in the moment.
It's pretty simple. You get 10 questions. You got 60 seconds. One letter. If you can put them all together, then you beat le toaster.
It's simple, but it's not easy, Phil.
No, well, we don't have that many winners, but someone who thinks they can beat the toaster today is Luke. Luke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm happy to give it a crack. I've got myself all G'd up. Let's go.
Well, we always start the game, Luke, by asking if you have toast, what's your go-to? What do you like putting on your toast?
Well, actually, this morning I actually had toast, and I did sliced banana with a tiny bit of cinnamon and a bit of butter. It was beautiful.
Wow.
That's very gourmet.
A little bit gourmet, isn't it?
Let's just take everyone through that again. So sliced banana, not mashed.
Correct.
A little bit of cinnamon.
And a bit of butter on the toast, and boom.
Boom.
Don't you love the flair in that, Phil? Just a little sprinkle of cinnamon?
I do love that he's taking it seriously. Like, that is a man who takes breakfast seriously right there.
That's right. Well, I mean, Luke, in a former life, were you ever involved in the the making of food or cooking or anything like that?
I'm a French trained pastry chef.
Hello. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, comment allez-vous, Andrew?
Oui.
Très bien.
Très bien. Yeah, très bien.
Well, that means, would you have snails on toast then? Would they ever have?
No, let's not get too excited.
Not the garden variety, anyway.
Not the garden variety.
I might just get a truckload. That can be your prize.
What about a bit of frog thigh, though? You must enjoy a bit of that, do you?
No. To be fair, the snails and the frogs, it's a bit like the Aussie saying kangaroo and crocodile.
Yeah, you can do without them on the barbecue.
It's not the everyday staple.
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
It's not the everyday staple.
For special occasions. Oh, dear.
Anyway, we don't want to insult your French nationality then,
No.
monsieur. So are you ready to play? Beat the toaster, though.
Let's go. What's my letter?
B for brown.
B for yes, brown.
Okay, let's go.
Now, here's the rules, though, Luke. You've got 1 minute to answer 10 questions.
And no repeats answer.
Yes. You can't use the same answer twice for 2 different questions. And you've got 60 seconds, Luke, and your time will start now.
A children's character.
Bob the Builder.
A musical instrument.
Battery, which is drum in French.
A TV show or movie.
Pass. Next one.
Yeah, pass.
An item worn above the waist.
Belt. Or buckle. Or,
Yep, that's good.
That's all good. Something with a tail.
A big dog.
A name of a river.
The Danube, which is in Europe.
Something you see at the beach.
A beach ball.
An occupation.
A baker.
A 5-letter word.
Baker.
Something
hot. No, you can't use the same word twice.
Bounce.
Bounce.
Yep. Banana. Bounce. Yep.
Okay, something hot.
Lukey.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm seeing Andy and he's getting his fingers out to count banana. Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, and bounce. Bounce was 6 letters. B-O-U-N-C.
I can see Andy's little fingers going in the back here in the studio.
Look, I'm the adjudicator, Phil. Well, this has to be legit. Look, I want to say, let's just talk you through it.
Very good effort.
You started so strong. When you gave Bob the Builder straight away, I thought, wow, this guy's on fire. That banana and cinnamon and butter has really worked for him today. But you kind of faded a little bit at the end.
Harsh.
You know,
He did very
5-letter
well.
word. I'm glad you didn't say a 4-letter word because that would have been messy. But you said a 6-letter word instead. Bounce.
Oh, no.
That's right. I got the banana in the end, which was a 5-letter.
I think
so
you've
we're
done
okay.
it. You went European.
B-A-N-A-N-A. That's 6 as well, banana.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Oh, well.
Look, I'm no Albert Einstein, Lukey, but I can count to 6, my friend.
You had a good go. Well, as long as he's got enough fingers.
That's right. Thankfully, God gave me 10 fingers. I can count to 10.
That's right.
But you know what? I mean, and even the big dog. I don't know. I don't know about the big dog.
Big dog. That was pretty cute. There was
a big dog.
There were,
if you use big, you can just say big everything.
Bandicoot, buffalo, bull. They all have tails.
I was just using adjectives, so I didn't say in the rules. I was just going with it.
Yeah, no, fair enough. If it's not exact, he's like, I'll take it. Well, Luke.
What was that for Luke in the background? What have we got there?
My wife said Danube wasn't quite actually correct.
Well, it's Danube with a D, isn't it? Yeah, I was thinking that too. Thank you, Lucy. Merci, Lucy. Merci.
Oh, dear. Well, thank you both for playing. We've had an absolute ball with you, Luke, but unfortunately you go home empty-handed today. But
go back and tell your family, Daddy didn't win. Sorry, kids, if you were expecting something. Not today.
Yeah,
not today.
I got what I deserved, nothing. There you go.
But you are a winner because you had the best breakfast and certainly beat Andy and I.
Well, you know what? Go and tell the family a Napoleon story. He won a few battles. You know, you can just
he did.
talk it up.
That is the word starting with the battle. What did I say?
There you go. Go and tell him about Napoleon. Man. He was a good general. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well,
it's been a while, but he was good though. He was good.
Well, Luke, thank you for playing. And look, if you're listening along at home and you want to play with us, send us a text 0447 488 316. We would love to play Beat the Toaster with you next week. Coming up next, though, Annie, on the line, zooming in, we've got Melissa Gooden from Retire Me Young with some incredible financial advice about a family she's helping. They have been hugely in debt, and she's got this plan right now to pull it down in a very quick period of time. If you want some in-debt advice, well, how to get out of debt would be a better way of phrasing that. Listen along. She'll be up next on Rise and Shine.
I've heard of all-day breakfast on the menu, but here's a brekkie show available 24/7. Thanks for streaming the Rise and Shine Daily Podcast.
And guess what? We're going to talk to Melissa Gooden from Retire Me Young because why, Phil? She makes a whole lot of sense when you're talking dollars and cents. Melissa, welcome to Rise and Shine.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Phil. Lovely to be here.
Oh, I'm excited about the topic that we're talking about today, Melissa, because I've been told that you've got some advice and some stories around reducing debt, which I think for so many people across the country is something that will be of interest to them. Can you tell us what you're thinking in relation to, or what some of the tips are for people who find themselves in debt?
Sure, Phil. Yesterday I had our 3-month review with lovely clients of ours. They came to us 3 months ago with $96,000 worth of credit card debts, unpaid gas bills, electricity bills, HelloFresh bills, Zip Pay, Afterpays. Lovely, lovely couple. In 3 months, we have started repaying the debts. We literally yesterday paid our first $5,600 worth of their debts. And these are just normal, everyday people, not massive income earners, normal mums and dads. And we are on track to having that $96,000 paid off in 18 months. Wow. Very, very happy for these guys. And I just want to give listeners an idea as to how we do it. So a lot of people might think, I can't see a financial advisor, I'm not rich, I don't have money, what are they going to do for me? I'm ashamed about my finances. And I just want to say to listeners, really, there are advisors out there that will help you with cash flow and debt reduction. And then what that does is it frees up that money that you're putting towards debt to then start putting towards investing so that you can get ahead. And I want to just break it down and make it really, really simple and show you how we actually do it. So firstly, we set a budget once. We do go through absolutely everything you've got, look at your income, list all of your debts, all of your repayments, then list all of your fixed bills, and then say to yourself, if I had a single amount each week that I needed to live on to cover food, petrol and fun, how much can I survive on for the next little while? It'll be less than you used to, but just deal with it. It'll make everything so much easier. Give yourself that amount into a separate bank account and just live on that amount and automate all of your finances, automate all your bills, automate all your debts so that everything is out of your bank account. You have zero control over it.
Well, I like
And
the
then once
inclusion
it's
there,
automated,
Melissa.
you'll find-
I like the inclusion of fun. That's good. The fact that you allow fun in there, that's good, because that can mean different things for different ones, can't it? But I like that allowance.
I can see why you'd love that, Andy. Andy's always
Anyway, sorry to interrupt, Melissa. Keep going.
And this is the thing, Andy, you got to have some fun because it's going to have to last for a little while, but it doesn't take forever. So once you get going, get your cash flow surplus, start piling off one debt at a time, the smallest usually, and till you keep going through. And then the fun, Andy, at the end of the rainbow is that once these debts start to knock off, your cash flow surplus starts to increase. This couple have got a $43,000 a year cash flow surplus after just 3 months.
Wow.
What that means is they're paying off their debt by $43,000 a year. Normal, average mum and dad. So
I guess then the fun starts to compound. To use a mathematical financial term, we compound the fun after that.
Look at you go, Andy.
Exactly. So once the debts are gone, we start investing with $1,000. That $43,000 a year then goes straight into investments. In 10 years, that would be approximately $740,000, giving you about $48,000 a year income for the rest of your life. Wow. If you do that for 15 years, it's going to give you about $97,000 a year income for the rest of your life. So here's a couple, $96,000 in debt. In 18 months, they're going to have $43,000 a year.
Amazing. Melissa, that is such good advice there. And don't you think, Andy, it's just so practical when you can think about how it's just a matter of putting together those budgets and putting it in place. And we've lost the link with Melissa, but what great advice there.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
$96,000 of personal debt, and now they're looking to invest and actually create wealth. Like, that's incredible.
It is. And look, if you would like to find out more, Melissa Gooden, Retire Me Young.
Search up, Google it, Retire Me Young. She's based on the Gold Coast in Queensland, and obviously is a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, look at you go. But my takeaway is
when it comes to wealth creation.
There is those tips you could do at home yourself. The two, I'm thinking Murray and I, sitting down and putting together a budget of exactly what comes in and what's going out.
Yeah.
And then thinking ahead and thinking, hey, what can we cut down?
Yeah.
And then it's great to think for Melissa, hey, you know what? Actually, if you do it as a team, you can then in the future have a bright future to look forward to. So thank you so much to Melissa for joining us on Rise and Shine. We'll have you back in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And we're coming up to the news now. Not long from now, we'll also bring a reflection from Brett Ryan from Focus on the Family about the life of Dr. James Dobson.
We're caffeinated and ready to face the day.
This is Rise and Shine on Vision.
And it's the top of the hour. Sometimes we like to do it in an Irish accent. So there you go.
There you go, Phil.
I don't know why. It just feels like it's a Friday sort of a thing.
Your mind's going back to the green hills of Ireland. With the little leprechauns running around and the rainbows.
I think it is. It's because I think there is a new Vision station in Merriwa, New South Wales.
Where?
Merriwa.
Is that an Irish name?
No, but it's green rolling hills.
Oh,
it's in the Upper Hunter region.
So it's kind of
And
similar.
all I can see in front of me is these beautiful flowers and green that looks a bit like it could be from Ireland. So if you're in Merriwa or you know someone, good news. There's now a Vision signal in your town. 87.6 is the frequency to get Vision on. It's a charming rural town known for its rolling farmland, rich history and strong community spirit. So that sounds very Irish to me.
Yeah, well,
There
definitely.
you go.
There's
And-
definitely an Irish link there somewhere, Phil.
And good news, it has weather.
Oh, there you
so
go.
we can do the weather from Merriwa.
Okay, let me have a guess.
Okay.
What is the temperature right now? Can I guess the now temperature?
Sure, go for it.
I'm going to say it's 8.6.
No, you have to go lower than that.
Ooh, 6?
Oh, a little bit lower.
3.
5.9.
Okay. But it feels like
Yes.
4.2.
Oh, that's very good. It's not, but
What
it's
is it?
very good. 4.8.
Oh, okay.
So you're in there.
It was in the fours.
In the ballpark there.
And I think the high is going to be about 18 today.
19.
There you go.
Have you thought about becoming a weather person?
Look, I think I could, Phil. I think I could.
You have enough interest, do you?
No, I think I've got the skill set. I've got the skill set.
Do you? To read?
Yeah, and
to
I'm
read
getting,
things?
And I'm getting good at and remember in the old days, the weathermen had a little stick. and they'd point at
sort
the
of.
map.
Oh, yes.
Like the
Yeah,
Channel
yeah, yeah.
9 News
Yes.
weather dude. I forget his name.
wouldn't that
Was
be
it Alan Wilkie? Was that name comes to mind?
someone at Wilkie.
And these dudes, and they had this little stick, and they'd point to the old map of Australia, and they'd talk us through the low pressure systems.
Yes, and it's moving this
That's
way.
right. And it made a lot of sense, Phil. It made a lot of sense. Now, that old guy, bless his heart, whoever he was, he never talked about how it felt.
No, it was
He just
factual.
said the temperature in Sydney today is going to be, low of 5 and a high of 15. I was happy with that, Phil.
But you can't, when you're doing the whole nation,
Mm.
but we're zeroing in on one location, and now my technology allows me to do such a thorough job.
But what I'm saying is I don't know if we need to know what it feels
You
like.
do. I'm going to put it out there. I
So
feel
you
like-
enjoy the feels? I don't want the feels. I just want the facts.
Well, there you go. If you want to get involved, you can help by texting us and letting us know what it feels like at your place. I think it's helpful when you're packing, for example, how many puffer jackets to pack. But anyway, Andy, what we know
maybe,
is the
maybe you
truth.
could add that layer onto the weather. Okay, so the weather today is, mine. It's 3.
5.9.
Feels like 1. It's 2 puffer jackets.
It
today.
is. It's a Tassie Tux plus you'll need 3 other layers, whatever it might be. But you know what? What we can definitely rely on without feelings is the Word of God.
Well, that's right, Phil. And I really like this. I'm still in Psalm 4, and I'm going to do the second half of verse 6. Lord, lift up the light of your countenance upon us.
Beautiful.
Don't you love that? Remember that old song? Lift up your countenance upon us and give me peace. It was a quote from Moses. You know that old, it's an old verse in the Bible about how God lift up your countenance
How good
upon
is
us.
that?
Such a good thought, isn't it? God shining his face on us.
Which is what the Bible says he does. Like that is the good news.
So good.
Is, one of the things, the best verses I like visually is that it says the eyes of the Lord run over to and fro above the earth, looking for someone to show himself strong on their behalf. And you just imagine this face of God. He's looking out. He's like, and when you put your hand up and say, help me, he's right there.
Yeah, and we've been talking about families today, and we all know as parents sometimes our faces can be stern because, things may not be the way they should be, but then there's other times, your mum and dad, they are smiling at you. They're really happy with you, and that's the image there that the psalmist is painting, that God is smiling at us and his face shines. It's so nice, isn't it?
It is beautiful.
It's the daily podcast of your favourite Aussie breakfast show, Rise and Shine.
That is Forrest Frank. Good day. It's Rise and Shine. Well, the end of Rise and Shine fell on Andy.
Yeah, well, Forry Frank, the next generation of Christian leaders, fell right there, having a huge impact all around the world.
He really is. And if you want to follow him, Hi Forrest over on Insta, there's some great storylines. In fact, we'll have to revisit this next week because he has had a miraculous healing from a broken back. And then on the other side, a fractured back, anyway, whatever it was, Crowder then has broken his leg.
What?
And so Forrest Frank has been writing a song for him, and there's all sorts of things going on. We'll have to visit that next week.
There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot happening.
That is a segue into the fact that if you've just turned the radio on now, Dr. James Dobson, the founder of Focus on the Family, has passed away not long ago at the age of 89. So we did talk about that today, didn't we, Phil?
Yeah.
But we also celebrated a win that everyone had yesterday, and that was on the Feed the Hungry Day that, Vision, our Vision listeners, our family across Australia have helped support more than 40,000 kids. How good is that, Phil?
That's right. The current tally is that as a Vision family, we have helped feed 41,387 kids in Uganda.
Amazing.
$6 per child means that we can feed them for an entire month. So our Vision family have smashed the goal. You can still jump on board, though. It's not too late. You go to vision.org.au, big orange banner. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
But it's time for us to say goodbye.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow with the best bits, Andy.
Au revoir, as they say in France, eh?
That's a bit German for you.
Auf Wiedersehen.
But in whatever language, have a wonderful day, God's blessing upon it, and we'll be back tomorrow with the best bits of Rise and Shine.
Adios.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.